Hello! So today in art, we're going to be talking about one of the principles of design, which is contrast. So what is contrast in art? Contrast refers to the arrangement of opposite elements, such as light versus dark, smooth versus rough, or large versus small. So we talked about this a little bit when we talked about complementary colors. Complementary colors, they contrast each other. They're the opposites of the color wheel. Just like as on the right side, night and day contrast each other. So here are a few examples of contrast in famous pieces of artwork. The first is by Andy Warhol. He was a famous artist, and he was known for his bright colors and crazy background, so you can tell that Mickey Mouse is black, so he really stands out from that bright colored background. This next one is by the same artist, and he used bright colored flowers, still on a black and white background. This next artist is Keith Haring, and the contrast is great in this because there's only two colors. He's using black and white, so the figures that he drew really stand out. Now it's time to draw, so you're just going to need some black construction paper and a white crayon. So the first thing we're going to draw is a circle at the bottom, a smaller circle on top of that, and then on the top, a really small circle, and we're drawing a snowman if you haven't guessed it already. So next, what we're going to do is I'm going to draw a tree. So remember from last week how we talked about shapes. So everything in this picture is a shape. The snowman's a shape, the trees are shapes, the trunk of the tree is a rectangle, the circle's for the snowman, and then I'm going to draw some snow on the ground. So I'm going to make some like snow piles, I'm going to do some half circles, so everything has a shape. I'm going to draw my buttons on my snowman. My eyes. And don't forget about your hat. For the hat, you just draw two rectangles. And some dots for the mouth. My rectangular arms. I'm going to make them look like tree branches. Now I'm going to draw a bunch of circles in my background to show that it's snowing. So if you haven't guessed it yet why we are drawing with a white crayon on black paper, it's because I'm trying to show contrast in my artwork. You can also do the same if you don't have black construction paper. You can just use a white piece of paper and a black marker. It's the same concept. I'm just doing it the opposite way in this picture. And I'm going to draw some swirls for texture to show the wind. Now I'm going to start to shade in some of my shapes and some of my sections. So I'm going to shade in some of the snow at the bottom. I'm going to shade in my snowman as well. just so I can really bring out the contrast of my picture. And feel free to use other colors as well. You don't have to just use white. I'm actually going to go and use my orange crayon to make my carrot nose on my snowman. Now I'm going to color in my branches, my arms with the brown. I'm going to color in my hat a little bit more with the white, but it's up to you what colors you want to use. I'm using brown to color in my tree trunk. And sometimes when you're using your crayons on the black construction paper, you're going to have to press down a little bit harder to get that color. I'm going to do some texture for the leaves on my tree. And I'm going to color that in with a green. Again, you're probably going to have to press down if you're using the construction paper to get that color on there. Now what I'm using is a blue crayon. And I'm using this to color in some of my snow, but you can use it at the bottom, you can use it on your snowman. I think the light blue color really looks nice with the white and the black. It makes it really stand out. And that's all. Your snowman contrast drawing. Be sure to send me your work, guys. See you next week.